Hi, it's Claire back again with another art journal video. Today I'm working in my large Dilutions journal on a double page spread. I have already put some gesso on the page and I am using the colours Marine, Carnation and Mineral. They work really nicely together. You can see that the marine one is running out a little bit, so I've actually popped the little nozzle off it. I'm just going in with a brush that's a little bit damp, not too wet, just a little bit. Oh, actually, I think I might have just dipped it in the water again then. Just to spread the paint around a little. And then next while it's still wet, I am using a baby wipe and this circle stencil by Dina Wakley and just removing some of the paint just to leave a bit of the pattern behind and add a bit of interest to the page. I had then dried that layer before I went in with the mineral, and I'm just overlapping the colours so that it kind of joins it all together. It's a technique that Dina Wakley talks about doing quite a lot, so nothing's floating about. And then I'm using the mini favourite stencil, and I love that sort of little leaf pattern that's on there. I'm just going in again with the baby wipe. So lastly, I'm going in with Carnation, and yeah, typical me, I'm ending up with no white space left apart from where I'm removing the paint. So more circles, I do love circles. And then I am using the Mantras stencil and a bit of, that looks like a peacock, and adding a little bit of text onto the background as well. Then some splatters using fuchsia and fan brush. Still practicing drawing these faces. I've been practicing and practicing and practicing. Sometimes they work, like I say, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the faces look a bit odd, but I just go with it, and that's okay because, you know, we're all learning and we've got to start somewhere. So I try not to get too hung up on whether it looks right or not, which isn't easy for me. Yeah, because I always want it to be just right, but sometimes it just isn't. The pen I was using is a Jane Davenport License to Quill pen. I often use this for drawing my faces because when the ink is dry, it's waterproof. Also, I just scribbled a bit on my mat, added a bit of water, and then I can use it to add some shadows onto the face. Just a little bit like using black ink, really. So works quite nicely for adding some definition. Next, I am adding some Dina Wakley collage tissue paper with text on it, and just adding it on top of my paint because I didn't want it to disappear. I wanted it to show through. I'm using gel matte medium to stick it down, and that's a kind of like a spatula type tool that I've got as well. And then in the centre where I am going to stick the face, I just wanted to calm the background down a bit so that the face wouldn't disappear and it would pop out. So I just used a bit of gesso on the background, and then I stuck her in so that she was kind of in the middle-ish. Then I went and added a bit of text using some stamps and a black archival ink. And then I decided I was going to use the acrylic paint, the marine, on my stamps. So put a bit on my glass mat, and using a small brayer, I put it onto the stamp and then stamped it, obviously. And then one thing that you must remember if you're going to use acrylic paint on your stamps is you must remember to clean them really well, because obviously it's plastic. Acrylic paint is plastic based and it will affect your stamps in the way that you won't get a clear image because it will sit in all the little nooks and crannies of the stamp. So it's important that you clean them really well. I also used Carnation on one of the stamps as well. This is a stamp set from Dina Wakley. I can't at the minute think what it's called. And then cut them out. Then I was having a look through my little collection of stamped images just to see if I'd got anything else that I could add into the page as well, and I found some black and white ones that I'd also stamped. The ones, some of them are Art Foamy's stamps that I've used, and they work really nice with black acrylic paint. So then I started writing something and decided I didn't like it, and as you see, it rubbed away really nicely because the background was dry. I just used a baby wipe to wipe it away. It didn't quite look how I wanted it to. There's that thing. So then I started sticking some of my collage pieces down and just kind of didn't really have a plan where they were going to go. I just put them where I felt they fitted. Then using Posca pens, I went in and doodled on some of the stamping that I'd added to the page. Just varying my colours so that the colour of doodling matched roughly the tone of the colour of the stamping. I hope that makes sense, but you can see anyway, so this is good. And then I'd got this new stamp set, so with letters. I do love lettering, typography, and yeah, I just wanted to have a play with them tonight. So I stuck them onto my acrylic block and stamped them onto just ordinary printer paper. You'll notice that I've stuck them back to front on the acrylic block. Obviously that's because when you turn it over and stamp it, then it's the right way round. Yeah, so I stamped one of the words overthink there and it didn't really stand out. So don't overthink, just let it go. I am a bit guilty of overthinking. I think a lot of us are. And then I did some journaling on the left hand side of the page. I just drew some rough lines and then made my letters fit the size of the lines and just scribbled down what was on my mind. For me, this is one of the wonderful things about art journaling, is that you can kind of empty your brain and brain dump onto your page the things that are bothering you, the things that you, I don't know, are overthinking. So that was what I did. And then I just added some more dots to the page just to kind of ground the little bits of collage that I'd added. And I was really starting to like how this page was coming together. Oh, I'd also put some palette pastel pinks on the cheeks. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video.